Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be discussing all brand new things from Maybelline. They came out with a ton of new product and I have been playing with this actually since before the holidays, so I have really put things to the test. I have very clear opinions on these items, so we're going to be talking about a lot, swatching a lot, doing all of that. I mean, I have like stacks of eyeshadow, concealer, blush. We got a whole bunch of product to talk about. Also, I do want to let you guys know what day is it. It is Thursday, which means it's the hot product of the week on Style Code Live tonight. I will be there in the live chat 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I hope to see you there. I will be snapping, talking, and sharing, of course, a hot product. So I do hope you join. I will leave the link in the description box below. We're gonna start out this video by talking about new individual shadows from Maybelline. They are $3.99, which is a bargain. And then you think about the fact that at the drugstore, you can do buy one, get one half off from time to time, or they'll have like 40% off. My point is, whenever we're at the drugstore, we do have the opportunity to make already low prices even lower. I kind of have an itch to do a Madness Monday in the future here soon, so thumbs up this video if you want to see that happen. I don't know, I just really want to go to the drugstore and wander around and show you guys how to maximize your dollar in the drugstore. So, but let's talk about the most affordable item that Maybelline came out with, because I am divided. I am at a 50-50. They came out with 20 shades. Some of them I think are absolutely wonderful and beautiful, and some of them are just god awful. So I am here to share with you which ones are the winners and also which ones to maybe avoid. On my eyes today, I actually have 3 shades, and I was trying one that made its way into the oh hell no pile. So let me pull that up. This is called Cool Cocoa, and it was so blotchy I almost had a fit because like the rest of my makeup was good, and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna try this one in the crease today. I think it'll be really pretty. I mean, there are 20 shadows here, so I've tried to really put them to the test as much as I can. If you guys only knew that part of my routine every single day was to play and test makeup, not just during the day when I'm doing my makeup, but before I wash my face off at night, I'm always like testing things like, how does it blend on the skin? How does it look on my cheek? Like, I'm always trying out product. So, but this one I hadn't had a chance to test out, and I was like, you know, I'm liking some of these, so maybe this will be really cool in the crease. And it ended up being so patchy. When you swatch this, you go, oh yeah, that might be like a really cool crease color. It does not blend. It grabbed in different areas, and I was just like a blending machine, like really trying to make it work. I had to take a velour puff and like kind of do a little bit of this business, put some lighter powder on top of it, take another shadow that I know blends really well, and go in the crease and fix the situation. So it was like a whole ordeal. Bottom line, this one is an absolute dud. However, Made for Mocha number 140, heavenly. This is worth your $3.99. This is so perfect on that outer edge. Look at how intense that is. I took a teeny tiny crease brush. This is actually also drugstore. This is from Makeup Artistry. And I just went out in the very edge and was like, doo, 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 doo. Blended. I didn't blend it up too high, but it didn't leave a line where sometimes when you're blending darker shades on the outer edge of your eye, especially if your eye kind of droops down a little bit like mine, it can be tough to blend into that crease shade without there being like a definite line and where you can tell that there's 2 colors. But this just blended gorgeously, effortlessly. I was able to put on as much product as I needed and make there be a lot of depth on that outer edge. And I just think it is awesome. No fallout. I love it. From there, I took the shade Nude Glow, which is a beautiful rose gold. This is so stunning. Are you kidding me? I literally just patted this on my eyelid, and it was so easy. It was a very quick eye look today. I think this is an excellent rose gold shade. I can't even believe that that is $3.99. Look at that. Is that not absolutely stunning? So those are the 2 favorites of mine. Now, another favorite that I have to just give a hand to Maybelline. This one right here is called Khaki Camo, and this one is also super gorgeous. Really easy to blend and work with, has a little bit of a sheen. Obviously, it isn't quite metallic like this one right here, but there is a little bit of a sheen in here, and it's very blendable. What I look for in a shadow is that it wears really well all day and has a nice maintaining color and doesn't totally fade, that it doesn't crease, that there's not a lot of fallout, and that there is blendability and visible pigment. So those are my high points of what I look for in a product, whether it's $3.99 or $39.99, those are still the same points that I look for. So moving on, we have another one that is great called Raw Ruby. I'm barely tapping my finger into there. I'll show you. Doot, doot, doot. Like it's really nice. This one actually feels quite stiff, but it has such a beautiful even pigmentation. Same thing with Acid Rain, and I love the name of this one. Look at that, are you kidding me? This is kind of a harder color to do, especially on a budget when it's a drugstore item, that really rich blue that doesn't, you know, sway into navy, that maintains a cobalt color. That's hard to do. And if you use a little bit of Fix Plus or setting spray with this, it intensifies even more and all over the lid. Or if you wanted to do like a really intense color on the lower lash line, this one is gorgeous. Let's talk about more good ones before we talk about the disasters. This one I almost used today. This is called the Glo Down. This one you could actually use as a highlight. It's not gonna be as smooth as what I'm about to compare it to, and I don't think the color is even spot on. So please, like, don't come for me over this, but I feel like this reminds me a little bit of Champagne Pop. Like, it has that kind of gorgeous golden glow that still is somehow icy and very universally flattering. It's just a beautiful glowy color, and I think you could do a lot with this. It's very, very smooth, and it's very flattering on the lid. Then we have a very icy silver. This one is called NY Silver. And again, this is just like a Tin Man glow. This reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. This is like If I Only Had a Heart. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine that just like all over the lid? Super winged liner, pair of like fluttery lashes, and you would be set. These two were really surprising to me, the shade Teal the Deal and the shade Fierce Fuchsia, because I was thinking that these would be absolutely horrible, but these are actually incredibly smooth and they do such a nice job. Look at me touching in there. I'm touching lightly and it's just picking up gorgeously. These actually blend and blur out quite a bit. So I'm gonna show you when I actually blend it out what it looks like, and then like a really harsh swatch. And then how can I do this for you? Whoop. There we go. You see? That color is really intense. I wasn't pressing too hard. You can build up the color, you can smudge out the color. And as a bonus, this does not stain. So whenever I do swatches and I take the makeup off, I can always see which ones are gonna be a really big problem staining the eyelid. That one so far does not do it. I haven't worn that one on my lid all day long, but when I'm just swatching, it hasn't stained my skin. So I think that's really nice. I'm getting way too excited about makeup. I'm like getting out of breath. I have one more really excellent one, and then we're gonna move into the pile of duds as far as the shadow goes. So this is another green shade. It's more bright. This one is called Forest Green, and I just think this is a very flattering color. It's a very loud yet somehow muted and understated at the same time. Those are the colors that I personally go for because I'm not really spending my weekends at the club. You know, that's just not my lifestyle anymore. I'm not going to big parties where I can be like super like, ooh, wow, neon. Like that's just not in my life anymore. That used to be. I mean, I used to be the girl with black hair and neon blue highlights, thinking that I was super cool in my like kind of goth punk phase. Like I've gone through different areas of my life, so I know that makeup as a whole reaches so many different styles. But for me, my point is, I like something that is just a little more like this if I'm gonna be doing a color, if I'm gonna do a smoky eye and I wanna do something a little bit different than neutral brown and rosy golds, and I wanna do something that's an actual color, I will go for a green that is more like this. I just think it looks really elegant. I think you can absolutely pull this off, you know, during the daytime, at the office, whatever. And it's just a really, really pretty color. Very, very smooth. I have a pile of single shadows that absolutely horrified me. That's a really big statement, but these were just really chalky. They didn't have pigmentation, and they were so different from the other ones that I just raved about that I had to tell you guys, you know, the whole art of these like hot or not videos is, you know, especially with the drugstore, we don't have the option to crack into every single item and test them out. So hopefully I'm giving you a better idea of what these are all about. So this one right here is called Vanilla. Now my issue with this, and I hope that I can get a close-up to show you guys, the texture on this one is just really powdery and chalky. So if you were to look at this super up close, you could actually see the powder sitting on top of this swatch. And when you go to put it on your eye, it kind of fluffs everywhere into your lashes. It's really powdery, it kind of flies everywhere, and it's just a really tough to work with shadow, so I do not like that one. This one was in the wrong pile. This is Night Sky, and this one is actually super awesome. I do love it. Moving on to the others that are not very pigmented, we have Purple Daze right here, which you can see is just such like a weird wash of color. I just think I would be really disappointed if I looked at this shade and thought, ooh, beautiful purple, it's so lilac-y and great. You got home and you were just like, excuse me, where's the color? Because it's really hard to build up the color on this one, and that is why I don't like it. Then we have the shade Seashell, which is kind of the same thing. It just really doesn't show up. And it's kind of one of those pointless shades that has you wondering, why would I buy this? And when would I use this as a single shadow? Okay, then this one was super disappointing because do we look at this and go, yes, this is everything I dream of in a golden shadow. But you go and touch it and it is so stiff. And like, I mean, I feel like I can like scrape the color off the top and it's just a weird kind of a texture. And then you go to put it on and it's actually quite powdery and uneven and chunky. I don't like that in my shadows. I think there are much better options out there. And before I shared with you the few that I don't like, I also gave you swatches of some awesome ones for $3.99 from Maybelline. Moving on to a little strobing action. I actually really love these. I cannot believe that they are so metallic and shiny and high shine and wonderful. I am actually using the shade Light Iridescent 100. I am using this underneath my brow bone today and on the inner corner of my eyes. Now, if you're wearing a ton of powder on the face, this does not sit well on top of powder, but I just want to show you like just how reflective this product is. It's a little bit thick, like compared to Becca's Skin Perfectors, the liquid ones. This is a lot thicker, but if you put it on with a dampened beauty blender before you do powder, if you're going for a more dewy look, I think this can look beautiful on the face. It just does not mix well with powder. So the way that I like to use it is simply on my eyes if I'm going for more of a wet look. The golden one here I think would be amazing on deeper skin tones. This has a very different kind of a shine to it. It's just so beautiful. I think it lives up to the name of being a strobing product. It has nice texture. These aren't terribly expensive. They're $9.99. You get almost a full ounce, 0.67 fluid ounces in here, and a little bit does go a long way. I also really enjoy medium. So all the shades I actually find to be pretty universally flattering. Like this one you could almost use as a blush. So I think they did a great job with those. We're gonna kind of go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I did not like this. I wanted to, I don't like it. I feel like it's really choppy and chunky, and I wanted for this to blend on my cheeks, but the handful of times that I used it, which I did use it more than once, even though the first time I used it, I was like, this looks horrible. What was I thinking? And I went and I reached for another blush that I know I love on top of it. But then I was like, maybe I did it wrong, and I used it again. And then the third time that I used it, I was like, I don't think so. Strong pass, I don't like it. The highlighter in here is okay. It's not amazing. I mean, I feel like the baked eyeshadow that I love, Dolce de Leche from J-Cat Beauty, is a better highlighter, or the baked highlighters from e.l.f. is a better highlighter than spending money on this whole thing just to get that highlight, because the blushes in here, in my opinion, are really tough to blend. Maybelline did come out with new lipstick shades that are in the nude-ish family that are super gorgeous. I'm wearing the shade Honey Pink and Purely Nude mixed together. I did put a gloss on top of it. I'm wearing the Dior 468 Brilliant Lip Gloss on top of it, which has a little bit of a pinky thing to it, but mainly it's just sheer. I just wanted to add some shine on top of the two lip colors, and I think it looks really, really nice. I think it's really brightening and beautiful, and so many of these shades that I've swatched, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. They're creamy. The shades are awesome. So these are all matte shades, and I just wanted a little bit of gloss on top. That's why I went ahead and used the Dior gloss. It's not specifically that I was trying to put a high-end gloss on top of it. It's just what happened to be in my drawer in front of me. I have the shade Naked Coral, the shade Almond Rose, Brown Blush, Toasted Truffle, and Raw Chocolate. These are all fabulous. They wear beautifully, they're affordable, they're creamy, there's no skipping, they are fantastic lipsticks, and I highly recommend them. If you see a shade that you enjoy, go down to the drugstore, pick it up, you won't be disappointed. I also want to say that I am loving this lip liner. I've been using it every single day. I'm so obsessed with it. This is their new Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner. I have the shade Totally Toffee, and it works with just about everything. It has the right glide. It's not overly waxy or overly wet looking or overly dry and stiff. It's somewhere right in the middle. I love the tip of it. I love that it's an automatic pencil, but it's not doing the thing that I hate the most with automatic pencils where the tip snaps off. So I am just loving this so much every single day. Every day I'm wearing it again right now. These two right here, jury's out, but I wanted to swatch them for you because these were sent to me and I was like, wow. Yeah, I don't think that I would ever really pick these two up aside from reviewing for you guys, but they brought out 10 new shades, I believe, of the Vivid Matte Liquid. I have the shade right here called Wicked Berry, and then this gray shade called Sinful Stone. What do you guys think of these? Would you wear this kind of color? Leave it in the comments below. Or if you have worn these, tweet me photos. I want to see it. This is where I get really upset, you guys, because Maybelline concealers are some of my very, very favorites just in general. Like I'm not even talking like my favorite drugstore concealer. I'm saying overall, they are some of my favorites. The Fit Me and the Age Rewind, I love those so much. These palettes right here did not work out for me. They're a little bit too waxy. They don't contain enough pigment, and I find them really tough to blend out, so I'm just not into these at all. And then they also brought out these guys right here, which you were all super curious for me to try out. How do I have a, what the hell? I really hope that has not been there the whole entire time. I'm the queen of getting like one piece of fuzz or glitter or something in my hair. And then I sit down and talk to the camera for 45 minutes and it's there the whole time, dang it. You guys all wanted to know about this product. I think I am the wrong person to test this out because I don't have a ton of space on my brow bone for an item like this, but I will go ahead and tell you that I don't know, I'm just not into this. It's supposed to be for underneath your brow where you can kind of carve things out a little bit. The issue is I wish it was like 25% of the size and then it would be a really cool product, but it's so wide that you end up getting product everywhere, like everywhere. And then you go to blend it out and it has a little bit of a waxy feel to it. I don't like it. I'm keeping these two in the package to donate. I do have the shade Deep and Light. This is what they look like. You would find them hanging on display in the drugstore. And just to give you an idea, the tip itself, looking dead on at it, is quite thick. And taking a little bit of concealer that you're already using that day is a better way to go to carve out your brows. This is definitely a 50-50 hot or not. I hope you got some good recommendations and also some ideas of what maybe to avoid. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it, leave me comments, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Mwah.